first tribal that all of you gets to know what's going on.
Send this to the VVVL. Hello, friends, and welcome to your first Marge Tribal. Ugh, can't speak today. First Merge Tribal of Distortion Survivor Cursed Legacies. As with all great Merge Tribals, well, I guess it's not a great Merge Tribal because you guys just started, but it wouldn't be a Distortion Cursed Legacy Tribal without the wheel. So let me get it up. Can everyone see my wheel? It's loading. Give me a second.
Yep,
Awesome. All right. If anyone has anything they'd like to say before we play the wheel, now would be the time to do so.
I would.
All right, giraffes.
So, very early on, I found a little thing on the path, and I would like to use it tonight.
All right, I can confirm that this is an advantage for the wheel. It is called Entity's Disfavor. Giraffes, who would you like to play this? Oh, just to specify, Entity's Disfavor. The person that Giraffes chooses will be completely removed from their chance to be removed tonight. So they will be automatically at Tribal Council for the vote, but they will still have a vote. So, Giraffes, who will you be playing your Entity's Disfavor on?
I want to just say I do apologize. It is only because you are the only name I've really heard being stuck around tonight, and you've already gone unhooked once. And from what I heard, messed up plan. So Issa, I'm sorry, I'm using it on you.
All right, so just to confirm, this is a real advantage. Issa, unfortunately, you will not be having a turn at the wheel, but that means you are at Tribal Council. You do have a vote. Anything else? 3, 2, 1. All right, it's wheel time. We are, as always, we're going to go in alphabetical order, minus Issa. So, first person is Aaron. All right, Aaron, unfortunately, you still are at Tribal Council, but you still have a vote. Next up is Cassie. Just a reminder as well, this was mentioned in the announcement chat in the first round, but if you are immune, you still will be being spun. So there's still a chance you could be immune and leave tribal, but Cassie, you're neither of those things. So next up is Colin. All right, Colin, unfortunately, the wheel was not in your favor tonight. You are still hooked. Next up is Fred. Oh, and with that is so close, Fred, but you are still on the hook tonight. Next up is not Issa. Next up is Giraffes. Another close call, but Giraffes, you are still here at Tribal Council. Next up is John. Such close calls on the wheel tonight, but unfortunately, Peter Griffin is still at Tribal Council. And just for the people who are watching, this is John's name. I'm not calling John Peter Griffin. All right, next up is Kathy. All right, and it seems that unfortunately Kathy is still at Tribal Council. She's still on the hook. Next up is Kim. All right, Kim, you are still on the hook. Next up is Laura. All right, Laura, you are still on the hook, unfortunately. Next up is Noah. Right now, it seems you might be the complete opposite of the escaped. You are still hooked, unfortunately. Next up is V. For V, you are the exact opposite of escaped. You are hooked. And last but not least is X. And unfortunately, it looks like X, you are unfortunately still hooked at Tribal, meaning that all 13 people will be at Tribal Council today. How fun and exciting! Okay, we move on to Gracie with the questions.
Hello, y'all, and welcome to your first Merge Tribal Council of the season. It's so cool to see everybody here together. Yay! All right. So I do want to start out first with we just saw something happen before the wheel was spun and giraffes played the power to where it and decided to keep Issa at tribal council. So giraffes, what factored into your decision in wanting to play your power?
Um, like I said, it's because I've only heard a small handful of names, only one of them really gaining a lot of traction. Um, and the last time that it had happened for Issa, it would have been them if they didn't get unhooked. And even though I'm safe, um, I'd rather not deal with that kind of funness with the Virtual Council of the Merge. So, I mean, I do kind of feel bad because I do know I kind of probably signed the death warrant, but you know.
On the flip side, Issa, so you were kept forced to be at this tribal council with no opportunity to escape. How are you feeling that you had no chance at the wheel tonight?
Obviously not amazing. I'm not gonna say that I'm like, oh my God, I'm so happy. But I'm not gonna say that I'm too upset or surprised. I will say, like, Dross, I love you. Like, this is not supposed to be shade, but like, Diva, I wasn't targeting you. I wasn't gonna gun for you later in the game at all, really. But I know that the chance was low of me spitting it anyway. The fact that I got it the first time was like I was shocked. I knew it probably wasn't going to happen again, so I'm not taking it too difficult. And I feel like most people have made up their minds. I feel like the wheel wasn't going to change much of anything, but here we are.
Alrighty, so I am gonna go ahead to X. So X, what did you guys have to do for your really fun 2 hours of an immunity challenge last night?
Grace, this is the third time you've asked me this question. But
So
I'll
you're the first on my
answer.
screen.
Hey, you're fine. So we had a Animal Kingdom type challenge where there was an order, the lion being on the top, and I was the mallard, so I was the bottom of the food chain. It worked out for me, I guess. But But we basically each had a win condition and a lose condition, and we had to try and meet the win condition in order to get immunity. Obviously, the lose condition would be how we lose, whether it was we died and didn't survive, or we didn't kill someone every round, or every 3/4 round, whatever the win condition. Crow had to pick someone that was going to win, and then they would win via that. It the first hour was stressful. The second hour I thought was a lot of fun, but also stressful. So yeah, that was our challenge, and thank you for stressing me out more. I don't know. Bye.
Okay, so next up, I am gonna go to Laura. So Laura, you have attended every single, except for the first one, of course. You have attended every single tribal council, official tribal council throughout the game, and you are now in the merge phase, and you have immunity. How are you feeling finally having safety after going so long without it?
It honestly feels really nice. Even though I'm here at Tribal, but like it honestly feels really nice knowing I can't go. Um, Especially considering the weird circumstances how I got it. The weird apparently I just don't do anything and I get immunity. So, because I was at work. Yay me.
Alrighty, so I'm gonna go on to Aaron. So Aaron, something that was pretty unique about this immunity challenge is the fact most immunity challenges usually only have one winner, but the occasional two, depending on what it is. But tonight, you guys are at 13 people, and you are sitting here with 6 people immune. How does and you were very close to getting that immunity. How does it play out with there being a smaller, even though you guys are a bigger group of people, there is only a smaller amount of people who are vulnerable?
Well, it is indeed scary because that means like when it comes to like eliminations, your options are very limited. This was definitely a challenge, and like you said, I was very very close in having. So it kind of just stings you that it's right there in your grasp, and you just barely had it, and then you just got distant, and then yep, you're up. You're not safe. But as far as how I am where I am today, I feel like no matter what, this is a game. There are hard decisions to be made. And yes, while the 6 people who are safe, they have the hard decision too on what is best for them.
Okay, I'm gonna go on to Peter Griffin next. So this is your first tribal council that you're attending in a very long time.
Yeah.
Besides the first one. So what do you feel is important when looking at who to decide for a vote?
Well, I mean, like you said, it's been what, 2 weeks, so I mean, you just have to like weigh your options and figure out what's going to work for you and decide like really how much the swap has affected things, and then you got to look and see maybe who's working with each other, and then you got to put those pieces together, and then you got to just figure out that whole entire jigsaw puzzle, and then by the end of it, screaming hey Macarena by the end of it. So yeah, I don't know.
So I'm gonna go on to Fred. So Fred, like I mentioned, with the 13 of you, there are only 7 people eligible for the vote. How do you feel that certain people being immune changes game plans in regards to what happens at this tribal?
I mean, especially with so many people being immune, I feel like no matter what, someone had some idea about the people that are immune, no matter what, whether it's in private or with people. So I think this absolutely like changes things for certain people. Because like half the cast being immune is crazy. So but I don't think it's like super crazy. either, just because of like the situation. Um, but yeah, I think that answers the question. I don't think it's super like changing anything.
So now going on to Cassie. So Cassie, you just left after being on a tribe of 9 people to going to a tribe of 5 people to now going to a group of 13. What do you feel is the most important thing when deciding who you are wanting to vote for?
I mean, it's pretty simple. It comes down to who you think will work with you versus who you think won't. And I think that's really as simple as you can make it. There's other smaller things, but I think that's at the end of the day, like we're looking for people who will want to work with us, and we have to go with our gut about who those people are. So
So now going on to V. So V, with that wheel, and now you guys are in a much bigger group. How do you feel the wheel impacts things when it's a bigger group of people?
Well, so the wheel was invented by the people like a couple of thousand millions years ago, and they use it for transport. And so when you used to use a wheel for transport, that gets you from point A to point B. Follow me, like it'll make sense at some point. But when you go from point A to point B, you get into the alphabet of things and languages, and that gets really complicated. Then you go to the social part of this game. And in the social part of this game, you have to make alliances, friendships, communications, but also targets. And with the wheel, you kind of need to have a plan A, a plan B, C to X, not pun intended. Um, uh, and it got to the point that you need to be prepared for literally everything. You need to be prepared for literally like being the last person standing while everyone else gets unhooked and then crying with production. So I would say the wheel can impact literally everything. And at this point, I mean, I've been blessed by the wheel once. I would love to be blessed by it again. So I have nothing against the wheel gods. But I wouldn't hate that they stop blessing other people.
And now I am gonna go on to Colin. So, I was asked, do you agree with V was saying the wheel causes you to have a plan A, plan B? Do you feel do you agree with that?
Yeah, I would say I agree with that. Past tribals, because before the swap, I was at every tribal. Um, it was like almost an unspoken rule that you couldn't say one name without another name as backup, and I think it's
Did
shaking up the strategy.
Okay. So now going on to finally Noah. So Noah, you guys are in the merge phase of the game now, and the merge phase in Survivor means you have either made the jury or you're very close to making it and you're going to get the short end of the stick. How do you feel how do you feel on what will happen in regards to that?
Uh, mm, I feel like someone's got to get the short end of the stick, so it just kind of sucks. I feel like it's kind of been said in this tribal, like it sucks whatever's gonna happen and whoever's gonna get it, but it's just inevitable, and you just kind of have to roll with the punches. And yeah, I I'm sorry, I don't have a really good answer for that. It's tough. It's like no one wants to be that boot for sure.
Righty, I believe I've gotten around to everybody. So, um, going to the joint question. So, if you think you are the person going home tonight, raise your hand. We got Issa wiggling their fingers a little bit. We have some more confident faces here. Okay, and the usual question. Some of you are very familiar with this by now, and others, you've only heard it probably once before. If you were to compare this round to any horror movie, what would it be and why? Go ahead. You can unmute if you have your hand raised.
I've been thinking of this round. I'm going to go this a little old school here, as I'm the grandpa here, but I'm going to go with The Faculty. The Faculty is not, I know, nice deep pull there, but it's a movie in which everybody's trying to figure out who is who and who has actually got some demonic alien bad stuff in them, and you're trying to constantly get rid of that badness while just watching everything else unfold.
And you're a teacher, so faculty makes sense.
Except all the teachers die in that, so.
Well, okay, so that means you were fucked.
Me too. I'm an educator.
Exactly, there's 3 of us.
Oh, nice. My pick was going to be the Velcro experiment. Because now that we're at Merge, it's just kind of like a mad dash.
I was gonna. Does Iron Lung count? Because if it does, I would say that, because there's some really hot people in this cast, just like Mark.
Hello, everybody. My name's Markiplier.
Speaking of Markiplier, does anyone have anything else they'd like to say or any pre-vote advantages that they'd like to play before we go to vote? All right, folks, it is time to vote. Go to your prod chats and submit your vote, change your vote, lock your vote, do whatever you feel you need to do, and bump your vote. Now we are live with the VL. This is also a public tribal, so keep that in mind. Anyone can go back and watch this, but we are a tribal, and we are also live with the VL. So have fun. Be safe. Don't die. Bye.
As always, shout out to Z, and then also shout out to my other new prod guest, Jordan, if he is watching.
That reminds me that I need to invite. Oh wait, no, fuck. Jacob is in someone else's now. Fuck. Shit. Well,
Oh, Jacob Adorno?
yes.
Yep.
Well, Jacob has been taken, but shout
Speaking
out
of.
to Julia, we love. Shout out to Jacob, because we love Jacob, and I'm still sorry I kicked you out of my project for your girlfriend. And because I know Fred is also gonna do it, I want to have 2 of them. Shout out to Julia, because we love Julia.
Shout out to Jacob and Malik in my prod chat.
Shout out to Tyler and Caleb in my project. Actually, Caleb, if you were watching this from the airport, I'm so sorry. Hopefully you land safe, and hopefully your flight does not get delayed any longer than it has to be. So, love you.
Safe landing. And also doing what V did. I'm shouting out Julia as well.
Shouting out Jared in my prod chat. Love you, Jared.
Shouting out
Also
my boy
shouting
Brandon
out Jared, like king.
I'll shout out my podcast chat guests, Josh Duanas and Gigi.
Shout out to my missing prod guest slot. You know, if you're watching and you don't have a prod guest to be in, you know where to go. You know, yeah.
That's crazy.
Shout out to Lee and Mike V in my prod chat.
Shout out to the fact that I'm actually able to be at a tribal for once.
Yeah.
So
Laura's holding the Domino's fort down.
Also, shout out to Benji, because last night I had the hugest blonde moment, and he literally had to help me with the simplest things. So, Benji, shout out to you.
Also, big shout out to Mike Jones.
Wow, shout out to Austin and my new product guest, Jom. I don't know who Jom is, but I love the name.
I literally just messaged production asking for a job to run a broadcast. Fuck.
I told them to please beg somebody in the VL to join mine, or somebody. Just I needed a second one.
Well, he's Australian, so I need like an international in my podcast. Well, fuck, I'm gonna have to find someone else.
Oh, Twink Barista King.
I'm sorry, what?
Jom. Wait, Jom's a barista, I think. I don't know. Hey.
So we'll say my students actually, some of them referred to me as Peter Griffin today when I walked in. So I was like, screw y'all. Just because I'm fat and wearing a white polo does not make me Peter Griffin. So
It's the glasses. It's the glasses that
oh,
tied
so it's just the glasses. Okay, there we
The
go.
glasses.
Oh, there we
So
go.
the glasses tied it all together. The white shirt, the green pants, and probably sure you're wearing the clothes.
Yeah.
See, the weird thing is I totally see it.
Just because I go outside and fight a random giant chicken every day during lunch doesn't help the fact either. But
Yo, okay, shout out to my brand new prod guest, Michael Grossman. Thanks for listening. That's
Oh
a
my
legend
God.
right there.
Also, John, don't feel bad because I get called Harry Potter all the time. Like it's getting to the point now, like where I'm starting to take offensive of it.
Let me just say there's a reason why I no longer wear orange.
Can I just say that I had a guest assault me and tell me I look like Mr. Crocker from the Fairly Odd Parents, and I will never recover from that till the day I die.
I would
Funny thing is, I actually
lie.
dressed up as him for Halloween last year. Like I
I
dressed
kind
up
of
as
see
Mr.
it.
Crocker.
Aaron, you goaded for that.
I even got my hunch and everything. Like I went down. I did the character down tight.
Oop, Noah's ready for a good night after this.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means
What's
did you
that
just
supposed
fill up your
I
base?
did hit my bong. Oh, Seb's
Ah.
back.
This is a very historical tribal because I've been using.
Seb, you're very quiet.
This is a historical tribal because I've bought these type of parchments like 3 or 4 seasons ago, and I finally ran out. So now we're using my fancy parchment. I don't know if you can tell, but it's like literal, like real parchment. But I usually only use those for final tribals. But I guess some of you will be getting real parchment votes, and some of you will not. That being said, if anyone has a hidden immunity idol or an advantage and they like to play it, now be the time to do so. All right, votes are locked. When I read the final vote, the person will have just a couple of seconds to say their goodbyes if they're on the Zoom, and we'll usher them from there. First vote, Issa. Second vote, Issa.
You're lagging a
Just
bit.
froze. You need to
Third
reread
vote.
that.
Oh, sorry. Second vote, Issa. Third vote, Issa. Fourth vote, Colin. Issa. Colin. 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 4 votes Issa. 4 votes Colin. 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 Sixth person voted out of Distortion Survivor Cursed Legacies. And the first member of our jury, Colin. Colin.
Well, looks like I'm gonna hit the hay now. Good game, everyone. I had so much fun playing this org. Got to meet so many awesome people. Y'all are hilarious. Y'all crack me up. And I appreciate that you guys tolerated me until the jury. Thank you so much to Seb and production for having me. GG's everyone. Somebody had to do it. And I will now
Colin.
get out of your hairs.
Colin, it's been fantastic hosting you this season. I'm so glad that you took the time. You were literally like one of the last people that we were able to get on the cast, and I'm so glad that you said yes. Shout out to Brandon G for getting you over here.
Always.
And with that, you get to be the mayor of Ponderosa for Cursed Legacies. I hope you enjoyed your time, but unfortunately, the tribe has spoken. You may leave the Zoom.
Okay, I'm gonna go get shit faced at Ponderosa. Bye.
Wow, look at that. Such a nice and interesting number. I hope that you guys are ready for the next challenge, which will be revealed within the half an hour. It will be semi-live, so you'll have to schedule time with Prod. The tree mail will drop at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That being said, I hope y'all have a